It was pointed out to me that almost never did I write about my father, although I wrote about my mother compulsively. And the fact of having written one short poem about my father to correct the balance, of course, is beside the point and doesn't change the fact and location of the obsession. But I didn't want Daddy to get away either. So here's a poem called Departure. My father is standing on a railroad platform. Tears pool in his eyes, as though the face glimmering in the window were the face of someone he was once. But the other has forgotten. As my father watches, he turns away, drawing the shade over his face, goes back to his reading, and already in its deep groove, the train is waiting with its breath of ashes. The next poem is a poem about being pregnant. I wanted to write a poem about being pregnant because I thought about it all the time. I thought about it before I was pregnant, and when I was pregnant and had the information, I thought about it even more. But I didn't want it to be a poem that insisted on the biology of pregnancy. I didn't want there to be wombs in it and swelling flesh. I wanted some sort of spiritual correlative. The poem is called Gemini, mostly because my son was supposed to have been a Gemini. And when he turned out to be a Cancer, I didn't change the title of the poem because the notion of that doubling of souls is useful, whereas Cancer carries different baggage. Gemini. There is a soul in me. It is asking to be given its body. It is asking to be given blue eyes, a skull matted with black hair, that shape already formed and detaching. So the past put forth a house filled with asters and white lilac, a child in her cotton dress, the lawn, the copper beach. Such of my own lives I have cast off, the sunlight chipping at the curtains, and the wicker chairs uncovered winter after winter, as the stars finally thicken and descend as snow. I think I'll read one more from this book and then new poems. This is the newest poem in this book. It's called Messengers. You have only to wait. They will find you. The geese flying low over the marsh, glittering in black water. They find you. And the deer, how beautiful they are, as though their bodies did not impede them. Slowly they drift into the open through bronze panels of sunlight. Why would they stand so still if they were not waiting, almost motionless, until their cages rust, the shrubs shiver in the wind, squat and leafless. You have only to let it happen, that cry, release, release, like the moon wrenched out of earth and rising full in its circle of arrows, until they come before you like dead things saddled with flesh, and you above them, wounded and dominant.